Hi, Joy Olson here, Blockbuster Fundraising. As a relatively new development director, I knew to be successful, I was going to have to become a very good major gift fundraiser. And as I studied and tried to kind of segue into that area, I also realized I was going to have to understand and learn and practice the process of moves management. Well, one of the very best books out there on moves management was written by Jerold Panas and William Sturtevant. And I got that book, and I wanted to share some of the tenets with you from this manual because, as they state, it's a fail-proof system for major and planned gift fundraising. How cool is that? So let's take a look at this right now and share with you some of this great bit of advice, okay? Because it's really, this manual and the advice I'm going to give you today is a practical guide to the effective implementation of moves management. And what is moves management? The concept emphasizes long-term interpersonal relationships with donors, and the result is raising gifts of significance for worthy causes of all types and sizes. So this is what you need, a fail-proof system in your quest to secure major gifts, whether current or deferred. And it can be your roadmap. And all the signposts in the manual lead the way to success. So, what they say, in a nutshell, is that moves management is a system for building deep, lifelong affinity and commitment with probable donors. And these relationships reliably lead to major gifts. And this is true no matter how your organization defines a major relationship. Each major gift probable donor is assigned to a moves manager. And this is going to be the person who makes certain that that donor is appropriately cultivated, solicited, and thanked for their generosity. And of course, the moves manager is the professional fundraiser. Perhaps it's going to be you. Perhaps you've got a very small development and you are going to be the moves manager. So you are going to rely on help from your donors' natural partners. And these can be friends and relatives, business associates, and social acquaintances of the probable donors. And natural partners can also be representatives from your organization, perhaps your executive director, volunteer manager, you never know. And these partnerships may already exist, or they may be appropriately created. The natural partners help create and implement a strategy for securing a major gift. And they also participate in the cultivation and solicitation and acknowledgement of the donor. Take, for example, your volunteer manager. Perhaps one of her very best friends is a philanthropist of major proportions in your community. And they happen to love your cause enough that they're out there volunteering. Well, your volunteer manager would certainly be a natural partner in this process in the cultivation, solicitation, and acknowledgement of the donors, and you would definitely, as the moves manager, want to keep this person very much in the loop. So, a move in moves management is any interaction that penetrates a probable donor's consciousness. In other words, it makes an indelible impact on the person, on the probable donor. And moves can cover the whole range of the major gift process. It begins with the identification of the probable donor to the final acknowledgement of the gift. And all moves must have a specific desired outcome that leads naturally to a planned next step. It's all a plan. And each time you make contact with that probable donor, you should have the best and worst case strategy. You need to be prepared for the probable donors turning down your invitation or turning down your request for funds. Okay, now Panas and Sturtevant say, start small in implementing your moves management. And if you've never done this before, that'll probably be easy to do. But at least initially, limit each moves manager to 10 to 50 individuals. The quality of your relationship, remember this, counts more than the number of people in your portfolio. So if it's just you and you're as a development director, you probably don't want to pick more than 10 people, your probable donors, to make moves into that major gift realm. Okay? Next, you want to meet regularly with your team to set thoughtful, concrete strategies for your highest level probable donors. And then, of course, you will revise this as necessary over time. So you want to consult regular with your colleagues, your board, and your natural partners. Remember, this is a team effort. And so important, record probable donor information that you and others will need to know. Be faithful about reporting your contacts. This is invaluable for future visits. Truthfully, if you don't do this, you leave the next person that's going to visit with them on a move in a really precarious position, because they're not going to know some information that they should know that would really further the relationship. So get that information in your database each and every time that you or one of your players, natural partner, the executive director, the volunteer manager, anytime they have a visit, you must make them know that it's important that you make notes on that visit and enter it in the database. All right? Next, development directors, major gift, successful people, get out the door. Use your moves management to maintain and deepen relationships and secure major gifts. And you need to get out the door to do that. You can't sit in your office and expect it to happen. So you just get out the door and get to work. And you know, more development people right now are raising more money from more donors than ever before. And Panas and Sturtevant say that at least 5 converging phenomena have created this situation. And number 1, it's the rapid increase in the number of nonprofit organizations. You have a lot of competition. And it's the spiraling number of professional development people. There are a lot of us. And thirdly, it's the cutbacks in government subsidies and grants, particularly in the arts, social service agencies, and state universities. Fourth, there's a greater dependence of hospitals on philanthropy. And 5, the swelling demand of private colleges and independent schools for funding. So the astute and truly committed organizations are continually refining their strategies for major gifts. And as a consequence, universities, hospitals, and most nonprofits have developed systems to help organize and structure major gift fundraising. And the result is going to provide a repeatable and predictable base for future philanthropy and institutional growth. And moves management is the most effective system for designing major gift strategies. It's important to note that the word moves does not refer to moving a donor. They say, we're not smart enough to do that, and we wouldn't want to try to manipulate a donor. When they conceived the idea of moves management, it was meant to move the staff. They wanted to get the staff out of the office and calling on people. So moves management provides a common language and system that really fosters the understanding and cooperation within an organization. It helps you. It's a process, and it it helps ensure that precious weeks and months don't slip by between contacts with your important donors. Because if you're not contacting them and not working with these important donors, believe me, someone else is. The emphasis really is on building and maintaining relationships with your most generous donors throughout their entire philanthropic relationship with your organization. And the key to success is consistency. This is the most important element that Moves Management brings to the giving equation. The advantages are many. Moves Management leads to more major gifts, most of the time, more of the time, and they become larger gifts. And best of all, it ensures the greatest satisfaction and joy to your donors. And that is very important. You want your donors to feel joy because they are giving and making themselves happy with their gift. And that is really what's so special about Moves Management. That's why you've got to learn about Moves Management to identify, cultivate, solicit, and thank your donors. And you'll do that all. Acknowledge that major gift fundraising is highly personalized. We all know that. And we know that the 10% who give 90% of our fundraising, they are top level donors. But the involvement of the top level donors is the key to your success. And there's no more effective or consistent way to ensure that you secure the gift than to have a good Moves Management. And you know, each of your probable donors is at a different stage in their relationship with the mission of your organization. And every one of them has a different giving capability and a different interest. And they respond to different peers. You must have a specific and a personalized strategy for each of your high-level property donors. And you know what? Moves Management and your Moves Manage strategy team make this possible because you have a natural partner, somebody that knows them. You have a primary player that's going to be comfortable asking them. You've got the Moves Manager who's identified them and is keeping track of all this. So I hope that you're getting the picture that a major gift and a gift from a major donor really consists of a well-planned process. And there's no better way of developing a process than having a manual that really spells it out for you from people that have been super successful in getting mega gifts. So I cannot recommend this book more. And it's fun to share with you some of the things that are in the book. And in the future, we'll go back and bring you more wonderful tidbits. And you realize that you can't tackle more than maybe 10 to 15 probable donors each year. You need to be planning for this, because if you're not, believe me, the other not. So get them involved, build a relationship, and I wish you all the success in the world. Joy Olson at Blockbuster Fundraising saying thank you for having been here today. It's been fun to talk about Jerold Panas. He's a hero of mine, and I love all of his books. You should take a look. Asking is one of the best. We talked about mega gifts, and now the Moves Management Manual. Jerold Panas died last summer, the summer of 2018, and he was one of the greats. And okay, Joy Olson, Blockbuster Fundraising, joyolsongroup.com. We're live every Tuesday at 1 p.m. We've got hundreds of free fundraising videos on our YouTube channel. We dabble around on IGTV, on Instagram, and we try to be where you are with some tips, some inspiration, and hoping to make your fundraising day just a little bit better. See ya! Thanks for having been here. Bye-bye.